Everybody, Alex here, and today we're going to take a look at some advanced applications for Stacker permissions. Now, if you haven't watched the previous video that covers the basics, I would suggest go ahead and do that so that you basically can keep up and have a good understanding of what's going on. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started. All right, so the first concept that I want to explore in terms of using permissions in a very advanced way is to create like a little training video that you have to say that you've done, that you've completed, and only then will you be given access to your dashboard. Kind of like a welcome screen with some instructions that you have to say that you agree to or that you've seen, and then you can move forward. So something like this is very easy to achieve. Here's my dashboard. I'm right now previewing Mary Doe, and let's do this. This is extremely easy to achieve, nothing too difficult. So the first thing that we need to do is jump into our users table and create a simple, let's say, training video embed. And this can just be a single select, and then let's create another field. Let's call this completed training, and let's turn this into a checkbox. Create this field. Perfect. Now we need to actually grab our training video. So I'm going to use something very easy. I'm going to grab one of my YouTube videos, and I'm just going to take the embed link from within, pause so that it doesn't start playing, share, and we need to take this embed link over here. I'm going to copy all of this, and I just need this part. Okay, let's jump back in, turn this into a formula field, concatenate, and let's just embed this hard string. All I really need is this particular part. There we go. Perfect. That's all I need. Now, what I need to do is jump back into Stacker, get out of preview, and then press over here on the side, manage fields and data, and then schema refresh. Excellent, that should be done. And then just a quick data refresh as well. So now I need to enable those two fields that we've just refreshed. There they are. Perfect. And enable that one as well. Click out. And what I want to do now is I want to essentially get this embedded video to show up on this main screen. So all I have to do is just edit the layout. And what I want to do is I want to actually create a new tab for this. And let's call this new tab training. So I'm just pressing there, tab 4. Let's call this training video. Save. And here it is right here. I'm going to put it right here at the top. And what I want to do is I want to first and foremost say that I want to embed something in here. Perfect. I want to delete this list of fields. I don't need this right now. Embed, and from field, and then training video embed. Height, I want this to be maybe something like 500 pixels, something like that. Perfect. The next thing that I want to do is embellish this a little bit. So how to do that? Super easy. Let's call this welcome to the portal. Please complete the training. Center the content. That looks great. Then let's add a button, which is going to be called complete training. And in our typical fashion, let's add an emoji to that. Go to emojipedia.org and copy my checkmark emoji. Perfect. The next thing that I want to do is update a record, and then the field is called complete training. And I'm just going to say that I don't want the user to be allowed to edit this So I want to set the default as checked, save the field, always show confirmation pop-up. And then here, I want to say complete training. And then over here, I want to say, are you sure? Save action, save the button. And what I want to do is I want to enable that button. And the other thing that I want to do is I also want to show this only when completed training is false. In other words, only when somebody hasn't completed their training, that's where I want to show this button. Save. And you know what? In second thoughts, what I want to do is I actually want to show only this tab when training has not been completed. And once it has completed, hide this tab and show everything else. And that's kind of like what we're trying to do here. So page buttons, tabs, and I want to put this restriction on every other tab. So training video, training complete is false. And then the rest of them, I need to add this extra thing. So training video, there we go. Completed training is true. So once you've completed training, only then can you see my properties. And so now let's go ahead and test this. To test this, it's actually quite easy. Let's go ahead and make sure that we are ready to go. And it's actually very easy to test. So to test this, I mean, we don't really have to do much. As you can see, we already are there. And if I, let's say, try to preview my progress, you can see how now I'm John Doe, complete my training, save, and instantly I can only see my own stuff. If I want to preview Mary, I get pretty much the same thing. And yeah, excellent. That's basically it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at another use case where you have like a federated account within your Stacker so that you can share projects for anybody who's a part of that account. So the concept of a federated account is nothing really new. It's basically allowing some users who are part of a umbrella account to have access to information between them. In this case, let's just say we have agents from multiple teams. I mean, right now we only have John Doe, but we're gonna create more like teams where we're gonna have more than 2-3 people who can share different properties between them. So let's build this. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to create these federated accounts, or I mean, we're just gonna call them teams basically. So let's call this team. We're gonna create a new table. I'm gonna delete all of these fields, and let's just have 2 teams, right? We're gonna have team 1, team 2, and let's just say members. And here we're gonna link to another record, the users table, multiple records. Perfect. So let's go ahead and create some more users. I'm gonna create just a few more agents. So let's say Mike Doe, and he's an agent. Let's say Taylor Doe and Jack Doe. Perfect. Next thing that I need to do is I need to assign them to their respective teams. So team 1 is gonna be John and Mike, and team 2 is gonna be Taylor and Jack. Perfect. So now the next thing that I need to do is I need to go in and refresh my schema in Stacker. By now we probably know how to do that. Schema, and that is now complete. press done. The next thing we need to do is we need to enable that table. I believe we need to do that here. Perfect. Turn that on. And don't forget to always turn on your fields. Perfect. And the next step is to, of course, double check in our team. You can see that the link to users is not open, so we need to go ahead and do that. Perfect. So the next thing that I need to do is I need to just double check to see how the permissions are probably gonna need to be set up. I'm gonna jump in to my properties table, because ultimately this is what I need to be able to share with. I mean, right now I have John, but essentially John owns visibility for house 1. John's teammate Mike should also be able to see that. So let's go ahead and simulate Mike just to see what Mike can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and preview, and I want to make sure that Mike, let's see if Mike is there. There's Mike, and Mike needs to go through his training, and Mike cannot see any properties right now, which is exactly how it should be. If I impersonate John, he should see properties that are his. Perfect. So from here, what I need to do, I need to double check my permissions for my property. So first things first, manage fields and data, and let's go to properties, permissions. And at this point, I would create a new permission because I don't want to break anything that I've built so far. I want to build on top of that. So let's go ahead and call this something like team permissions, or just like team. So some records, only some users, only people who are agents need to have this. And ownership filter, let's try this. So the record assigned agent matches the, no, it's not exactly that. The record, okay, assigned agent matches the users. No, it's not like that. Okay, so I can see that Stacker is not giving me all the direct sort of permissions that I want to see. So what I want to do is I want to make it a little bit more plain and simple for Stacker to understand. The way to do that is I want to bring in the members of that team into the property. John Doe has got an association with a team, right? There it is. Let's begin there. So I'm gonna add that in. I'm not super sure if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try this anyway. I'm gonna press discard and continue, get out of here, refresh my schema. If this is not going to work, I'm gonna show you another way. Perfect. Let's make sure that our properties fields are refreshed. Perfect. Now let's try this again. Permissions. Add a new permission. Some records, of course. Ownership filter. The record team from assigned agent is users profile team. Perfect. Some users, only agents, and yeah, sure, why not? Let them edit anything. And we have our third set of permissions. Let's test this. I'm gonna go straight into preview. So John sees house 1. Let's see what Taylor can see. Is Taylor his teammate? I think so. Oh, it's Mike. Apologies. So Mike is teammate, and that's it. Mike can now see house 1, which is fantastic. Let's go ahead and assign house number 2 to Jack, who's on team 2, and house number 3 to Taylor, who's again on team 2. Let's make sure that both of them can see both houses. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard. I'm going to get out of preview. I'm going to refresh my data so that everybody can see stuff, because Stacker sometimes is a little bit delayed with syncing data. So let's just check out. Yep, okay, cool, perfect. Can see everything. So now I can proceed and preview. So I'm going to preview Jack. Jack should go through his training. He needs to complete his training, save. And Jack can see house 2 and 3. Let's see what Taylor can see. Taylor needs to go through his training as well. And that's it. So that was it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I'll make sure to take a look and answer every single one of them. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.